The dream, the reality, and the exception. So the dream is kind of everything we're seeing right now that makes real estate investing seem like the best thing ever. It's, make money while you sleep, 12 streams of income. Mailbox money is probably my favorite. That's kind of how we're sold the dream. From a number standpoint, it's probably this idea that like you can invest $200,000 in the stock market and make 10% on it. So you can make 20 grand a year. But in real estate, you could take that $200,000, buy $1 million property, and now you're making 10% on $1 million, so you're making 100 grand a year. That's definitely the dream. That's everything we see that makes us go, yeah, I'm gonna be a part of this. The reality is there's a lot more that goes into a rental property that the dream doesn't tell us. Expenses. It's really easy for expenses to get out of control. Especially when you're putting together your projections, we usually put our expenses at what we think is manageable, not what they're actually going to be. Even with rents, when you're creating your projections on what rents are going to be, a lot of times they don't come in at those numbers. It actually comes in below. So if your expenses are going up and you're not hitting your rents, all of that is shrinking your return. So what happens is this idea that you're going to make 10% on your money actually goes really, really, really low. And a lot of times people get into these projects that can't even support their debt. So they end up having to pay each month to keep it afloat. So there is an argument that people are going to say, well, yeah, but I'm putting money into the project, so it's just equity. I'm just giving myself equity. The truth is that's not a successful investment, and that's very different from the dream. The dream was like, I'm going to make money and not have to do anything. This is great. Now, there is an exception. It's not just like the best or the worst. The exception is being very disciplined and patient to wait for those exceptional deals. And what's happening right now is there's a lot of bad deals out there, so people are inflating their numbers or tweaking their numbers to get the deal to work. Or people are saying things like, oh, leverage is going to make me my return. That is not an exceptional deal. That's a deal in the reality of things that everybody's participating in. Another thing I think is good to remember, and we'll do a follow-up piece on this point, but if you're doing the same thing as everyone else, you're living in the reality. There's nothing exceptional or different about what you're doing. And when everybody's participating in one area, that means you're paying a premium for that project. So to find exceptional returns, it's not going to be there.